Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick studio tour. If you've never been in a Pilates studio before, I'm going to show you the equipment that we use and some of the exercises that we do on them. So the first room when you enter our studio is this room here. I'm going to show you the equipment that we have. We have the towers here along this wall. Then we have the Cadillac trapeze table right here. And we have one of our chairs and our ladder barrels. So that's just an overview. I'm going to give you a little more detail into each one next. All right, so this is our trapeze table here. And the reason why it's called a trapeze table because of this here that looks like a trapeze. Here we put sometimes our feet on here, our feet in here, and this adds a little bit of lift off of the Cadillac when we're doing some of our exercises. We also have this spring press down bar here, and this responds like a stretchy band with that spring resistance just to add that little extra engagement to the exercise and that resistance. And then this here is our push through bar, which we would move this trapeze bar here when we're using that. And again, this is spring based as well and gives that extra resistance for many of our exercises. So on the trapeze table here, I'm going to show you a pull-up. And for this one, we grab onto these side bars. We place our feet onto this trapeze bar here. And you start by hanging down, getting a really nice stretch. And then we start to roll up almost into a reverse plank position. And from here, we can start to pull ourselves up through the bars. And then we can also find this beautiful extension and opening in the chest. So here we have our wall towers, and these are pretty similar to the trapeze table, except that these don't have the bars on the top, which you can do extra exercises on the trapeze, but it still has this press down bar with that spring-based resistance. You can do standing work, kneeling work, as these springs can hook to multiple different places. And same with this bar here, just like on the trapeze table, it also gets connected to springs at different levels. And you can also move the bar up and down based on the exercise. And again, sometimes we're standing, kneeling, laying down on the mat, or even facing the side as well. So lots of options. These are all the different springs that we place on all of these pieces of equipment to change up the exercises. All right, I'm going to show you one of the exercises that we can do here on the tower. So I'm going to move this one down, then we take one of our springs and connect it here and bring it up here. And I'm going to do our teaser on the tower. So what we would do is lay all the way down and take this bar right over the middle of the chest. And I'm going to take the legs up into tabletop. And that resistance from that spring up above is going to help me a little bit start to roll up into this teaser and then lengthen here at the top. A really wonderful core exercise. And when you roll back down, you're using your abdominals to pull that spring down and find that deep core connection. So next we're going to move on to our chair. Say hi to Remy first. And we're going to show you a couple moves we're going to do on this chair. This chair has spring-based resistance that attaches to the back. And I'm going to show you an abdominal exercise first. So I'm actually going to face towards the mirror. I'm going to come onto my feet on the pedals here and then draw my hands forward to the back of the chair and round the spine. Then I'm going to use my core and lift myself up into a pike position and then bring it back down part way and then come all the way back up. And we do that quite a few times. Really gets into those deep core abdominal muscles. One more I'll show you is this tricep press. So we're facing opposite direction and you're using your triceps to lift you up into that tricep extension. And then when you bend, elbows bend back behind you, and then you press yourself back up and that pedal is moving because those arms are moving you up and down. So here is the ladder barrel. So named after the ladder here and the barrel here. And this is great for a lot of stretches as well as some great abdominal work and some extension work, so opening of the chest and the shoulders. This one does not have any springs, so you are moving your own body without any resistance. So I'll show you a side sit-up here. So this is great for those obliques, your abdominals. And you're gonna take the hands behind the head and go ahead and come up and over that barrel, really feeling the contraction through those obliques and that side waistline. And it's also great for a nice stretch. So especially after that oblique work, we would take the feet down and then take the body over and get this nice, yummy side stretch here, just opening up that side body. So here's the Pilates Reformer, which is what most people think about when they think of Pilates equipment. So this is also a spring-based resistance here. So you can see those springs are attached from underneath as the carriage moves. So I'm gonna show you a couple exercises. I'm gonna show you the supine arms with an ab curl. So basically supine just means on your back, and hands come into these straps here, legs come into tabletop, and as you press these straps down, that resistance is pulling against you. You gotta really use your abs, lift you up, reaching those arms long, and then you can lower back down, and then we continue to do that again. A really great abdominal exercise, lots of control and stability. And I'll show you one more great abdominal exercise, the plank, which you're probably familiar with on the mat. This time you'd be coming this way with the feet on the bar here. The feet on the shoulder blocks, hands on the bar, finding that plank position, and then we challenge it by moving the arms, and now we're challenging that core even more as we come forward and back. So a moving plank, and great for strength, stability. This is also great for mobility and flexibility as well. So here's another version of our chair. We have 3 of these ones in the studio. These don't have the handles that you saw on the side, but still has that spring-based resistance. So I'm gonna show you first a swan on the chair. This is a great extension exercise. So for that one, you would come onto the belly, and then as you press the pedal down, you'll feel that resistance from the spring. So this is a back body exercise, so really strengthening the back line of the body. And with swan, we're finding that extension as we lift ourselves up into that swan position, and then you bring it all the way back down. So this is a beautiful one to get that opening in the chest and shoulders and engage through the back. And then the second one I'll show you is our mermaid stretch on the chair, one of my favorites. So we set ourselves up facing the side, and then we take one hand to the pedal, and then the other arm comes up and over, getting that nice stretch along the side, and then coming up and over. And then we can also add in a little rotation where we come down towards the chair, separate the hands, and press it down, getting even a deeper stretch through that side back body. This was one of my absolute favorites. And then you would go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So hopefully this video gave you a little bit more information about what to expect if you go into a Pilates studio and what you may find at a studio near you. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And thanks so much for joining me.